Hi everyone, and welcome to my project management channel. I am Dr. Carlos Chavez, and last week we discussed risk responses, monitoring, and control, its inputs, outputs, and the processes and tools used within it. It provided an overview on how to plan responses to identified risks, when is it okay to accept, reduce, or eliminate the impact and or likelihood of risks, and the processes through which we can keep track of the risk events and our responses. Today's video will cover risk management plan. The risk management plan is where we define the process through which we perform risk management, how we handle the activities related to risk, including communication, risk evaluation criteria, scope, organization tolerance for risk, and other relevant information to manage risk from a systems perspective. The inputs into the risk management plan include project scope statement. This tells us what's in and what's out of the project, and therefore our scope for which we evaluate risks. Cost management plan. This includes budget, contingency reserves, and how to manage them. Schedule management plan gives the team visibility of the schedule, buffers, and performance assessment. Communication management plan. That gives us the framework to communicate with the team, customers, leadership, and other relevant stakeholders. Enterprise and organization information. This includes risk attitudes and tolerance, common definitions, roles and responsibilities, lessons learned, templates, and among many others. Finally, we have risk documentation that we've been collecting for the last few weeks. The tools and techniques for developing the risk management plan are pretty straightforward. It's a meeting or a series of meetings and some analysis. So the project team and other relevant stakeholders hold meetings to develop the risk management plan. During those meetings, the team will develop high-level plans for conducting risk management. This includes budget, schedule, procurement, quality, scope, and other relevant elements. In the case of schedules and budget, an initial buffer and reserves are assigned specifically to risk management. Roles and responsibility regarding risk and risk management are also defined during these discussions. For example, Bob may have responsibility for cost risk, while Laura have responsibility over schedule risk, or maybe a risk management board is created. During these meetings, it is also important to review which risk management templates and tools can be used and tailored depending on the project needs. For instance, if a risk register is an Excel or a database, what columns will be used and how will the information be populated so that it's easy to search? Also, a probability impact matrix can be reviewed and have some initial definition up front, such as, are you going to use low, medium, high criteria, or a 1 through 5, or a 1 through 10? And what are the definitions for those parameters? So for example, what's the difference between a low and a medium, or a 2 or a 3, or a 6 or a 7, and such. The output to those meetings and analysis is the risk management plan. Or simply put, it describes how risk will be managed, structured, evaluated, tracked, and executed along the project, and it includes the following elements: a methodology, roles and responsibilities, budgeting, timing, when, how often risk management processes will be performed, risk categories, definition of risk probability and impact, stakeholder risk tolerance, reporting formats, tracking, how the risks will be recorded, and how the process overall will be audited. Now that's the process for creating the risk management plan. Now let's take a look at how it might look like in real life. In this week's example, we're going to continue talking about the equipment procurement, manufacturing, and installation project. The inputs into the risk management plan are the tasks, duration, cost, communication, enterprise information, among others. The processes and tools that we discussed already are the meeting and analysis. During the risk management planning meeting, the lessons learned document showed that the equipment manufacturer had issues with similar projects in the past. Also, the HR plan showed additional resources in the procurement team that were transitioning from a previous project and were now available for other support. Since this is a quick project with high impact on target growth for the company, the leadership team established the weekly meetings, and the authority on risk management resided with the project manager, and the execution of the risk tasks with the functional team and their managers within the schedule, budget, scope, and quality constraints. As far as tools, the probability impact matrix will be used for initial risk analysis, and a 1 through 5 scale will be used. Scheduled risks are of particular concern for the leadership team due to the contract commitments on product to be delivered. The outputs of this risk management plan are initial risk categories, risk meeting timing, roles and responsibilities, initial risk tool definition, and organization tolerance for risk. As far as classroom problems regarding the risk management plan, there's three simple questions that I like my students to come out with. One is, what is the purpose of the risk management plan? Why do we go through the effort of planning how to do risk, right? Also describe the process of developing a risk management plan. At the end of the day, I would like them to be able to build a risk management plan. And finally, what are some of the components defined on a risk management plan? Thank you for watching today's video on creating a risk management plan. I hope this was useful. This video wraps up the risk management series. In future weeks, I will dedicate the videos to individual tools that we covered during this series, project management research, and trends in the field. At least until I'm teaching some other subject, and then I'll create videos for that particular subject or class. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for future videos and lessons. Thank you so much.